Syntech has sent me their new Vision Pro Comfort Head Strap. Excited to see how this one feels. Let's first take a look at what's inside the package. Well, I like this kind of same color strap that Vision Pro uses, so we'll see how that gets connected. And then we've got, it looks like a little back strap here for the back of the head. A nice pad right here, pretty thick. And we got a couple other little pieces. We'll have to see how this all connects. And then we got some instructions right here. So let's take a look and see how easy this is to install. Okay, I've got everything in front of me here, bunch of pieces. Let's see how easy it is to put together. I also have the video instructions on my iPad right here so I can kind of follow along, make sure I don't mess anything up. First off, as always, we're gonna remove the battery, remove the facial interface, and of course the stock strap. All right, to the basics here. First, we install the back strap here. Looks like it slides in nicely just like this. I think I had it turned around. Here we go. Much easier. You can see it fits in nice and snug right there. Yeah, and I actually see there's a right and left marker on the inside engraved into the plastic to help you know which way to put it on. And then you can see that these metal parts right here that you would normally be connecting here make kind of a hard stop against the plastic, and that's how you know it's really snug right there. Now we can install this part of the facial interface. And before I put this on, we're going to attach this little piece in between here. And there's a little clip on the bottom that'll attach right below here. I think we start on the top, and then it clips right in there. And we'll see it kind of moves around, but I think once you have the other magnetic piece here locked in, it should stay in place. So next up, this goes right on top. And now this is snug. That's not gonna move. I make sure that it is right in the center, right here. This looks good. Next up, we have the back strap. And there's little clips on either side of this back strap that clip in to these pieces right here. This is honestly a little bit tricky to get in here. So I'm gonna just keep this down on the table and not break anything. Okay, got one snapped in. And then actually here I can double secure just like that. Once the first one's strapped in, the second one clicks in much easier. I'll just show you more closely what this looks like. Okay, one more step complete. And then this strap is gonna go through this little piece. All right, now we're getting a bit closer. And then this part's gonna strap kind of under here. I was always confused by these kind of straps, honestly. Their video doesn't show how this attaches. It just kind of skips through that part. So I'm just trying to figure this out. Well, I'm guessing that is it right there. And the next step is just to Velcro this to the bottom here. So I don't know, it feels kind of like a weird setup, but we don't know till we try. And then the last part is this battery mount. That snaps in easily. And that's strapped in. So we'll see how this works with kind of the battery as a counterweight. And I'm just gonna wrap this around here. I'm also realizing that for the battery to connect, this strap needs to be a little bit more forward. Okay, this is it. My only real concern looking at this is gonna be this weird strap right here. I could maybe tighten this a little bit more, but I gotta play with it first. But for the real test, let's see how it looks. This thing seems difficult just to put on, honestly. You know what, I gotta mess around with this a little more. I think I gotta just take this battery off. Let me see, with a little more room to play. All right, everything's now really loose. I mean, this has gotta work now. Okay, we're good, we're good. Now with everything in place, I gotta say so far I'm actually kind of surprised. After like a lot of weird movements and adjustments I had to make to get this to actually fit, but this actually feels pretty good once it's on. Let me try to put this back on and see how that counterweight feels now that I know how to have this set up properly. There we go. Now, I probably wouldn't want to wear this like a necklace, but you get the point. Okay, this is going to be probably as good as it feels, at least for the first few minutes trying to mess around with this thing. I'm going to spend a couple hours, like I always do, with these new straps, see how it feels after a while, make some adjustments on the fly, and I'll come back to you with some real thoughts on comfort and usability. When I was playing around with this, I did a lot of little fiddling of the straps and moved around quite a bit. I took the battery off, put it back on, just so I could get a good feel for all sorts of slight minor adjustments to really see what felt the best in terms of like all these different changes you could make with the straps. All right, I've been playing with this for a while, and I'm actually kind of surprised. I really like this thing. It's a little finicky to get this whole thing together to get it on and installed, as you saw. But once it's there, once you really understand how to play around with the different settings, it feels really nice. There's always going to be pressure somewhere on your head when you're wearing a headset. This one does a good job of putting the pressure evenly on, at least for me, on the top of my head with this really nice thick pad right here, and then on a little bit my forehead. When I was able to get it set up properly, it almost felt like it was floating there without really any weight on my cheeks. I tried, as you saw, to kind of take this battery off so that there wasn't a counterweight. That was actually less comfortable. So I prefer to actually have this counterweight, this battery on here. And the added benefit is if you are moving around, you're not going to snag this cord as long as you have it wrapped around properly. So at the end of the day, it's a really nice head strap. Just beware that in order to get it on and off, that might be an extra headache. For traveling, it's a bit big. But if you're just going to be at home watching movies or working at your desk and not planning to move around too much with this thing, I think it's fantastic. So I would recommend this. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.